still Channel Sport this morning, and Badakitude Johnson is in the building. And welcome. It's been a while.
Oh, it was a pleasure. I was here, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So it's been a while. You're very correct.
So what has caught your
my fancy
attention?
lately?
Yeah.
Chelsea, champions of England.
Okay.
Job well done. And I got a start that really startled me last night, that no Chelsea player has been sent off in the course of the season. That's truly remarkable stuff, if it's true. I haven't verified, but I can't remember off the top of my head seeing any Chelsea player sent off.
Yeah,
the security.
Meanwhile, one would have been sent off like up to 3 times.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
But you know the shocking thing about Diego Costa? He's never been sent off in a Premier League match. Never.
How does he do it?
I don't know.
He's just brilliant.
Dark hearts, right? Dark hearts. Okay, let's go with the show now. Before we go to the Premier League match, and I was played inconsequential really between Chelsea and Watford. Before
what a feast of entertainment it was. 7-goal thriller at the end of the day. Chelsea rested important players, gave the kids a run out. Watford made a game of it, tied it at 3-3 at some point. Took a Fabregas finish late on to win it for Chelsea.
Correct.
And give Stamford Bridge a fitting finale for what has been a truly remarkable season of football. You look at Conte, doesn't look like he's only been in England less than a year. He looks like he's been around for a long time. He's taken to everybody. His energy is transmitted to the players and the fans. Everyone is positive again. It's hard to see that it was this same Chelsea that was struggling just a year ago under Jose Mourinho. They look almost an unrecognizable side. They look inspired. And again, it must be added, the fact that they were playing an average of a game a week, whilst the rest were playing twice, 3 times in Europe particularly, meant that they had an advantage of freshness. But that hasn't counted for Liverpool, so it's not automatic. He's made it count for his team. And that system, that world-famous system now that even Arsenal has borrowed a cue from, playing 3 central defenders and playing 2 wing-backs who bomb forward.
And 2 DMs.
And 2,
central midfielders.
I mean, he's just almost made it something that Chelsea has patented and have, perfected.
Correct.
And that's why they're champions of England, and no one can begrudge them of their title.
Deservedly so, and they'll get an opportunity finally to lift the trophy. That's on Sunday when they take on Sunderland, and that'll be the grand finale. Yeah,
before, you talked about stats before. I mean, when we just run through Chelsea's stats, the game between Chelsea and what were some of the stats that came out from that game, and also looking at tweets from the players. That's before we get to Int'l later, because
we'll come to that later. But the obvious start from after yesterday's game was. Before we go to this one, Chelsea have won 29 games.
And he's targeting...
That's a record. I mean,
it's not surprising. Remember, at a point, they went on a 13-game winning run. Back to back. Didn't matter where they were playing. Home, away, they were just blowing teams away.
Interesting
and
stuff.
That's why you had the stats here coming. I think they actually achieved the same 2014-2015 season. At the end of the day, you're just saying, I don't know how they've been able to make it. But another thing is, for the first time, first time ever in the Premier League, Chelsea made about 9 changes to their starting lineup. No manager, since the Premier League started, had ever done that for them. Conte did it yesterday, and they got 4 goals from that. Also coming is John Terry. I mean, just take a look at this man. He scored his first Premier League goal since January 16th. 2016. That's after 435 days. That's huge. But then the goal was actually significant in the sense that it was Chelsea's 1,000, since Abramovich took over in 2003, and also their 100th goal in all competitions this season. So that's really huge for John Terry. Somehow he knows how to just come in and make the mark.
Yeah, Chelsea captain, leader, legend, they call him. It was an emotional moment for Chelsea fans because this man has been on the bench the whole season. Correct. Because he couldn't just find a way into that back three. But then again, having secured the title, gave him a run out, and he came in to remind everyone how invaluable he'd been and why over the years. Get crosses into the box. He attacks them like the best of strikers in the world, gets his head to them, always looking to pounce on second balls, exactly how he scored yesterday. He didn't get his head on the first ball. Second ball, he was the quickest to react, and bam, he scored. John Terry will go down as, if not the best Chelsea player ever, the best Chelsea defender of all time, undoubtedly. The best, in my own opinion. Others would have their own views, but I thought that he led Chelsea in their most successful era. And he was not just an important player. Even off the pitch, he was so influential. That season when, they won the league under Mourinho for the first time, there were jokes around the place of how you could swap him for Didier Drogba and it would make no difference because he was so lethal, so dangerous in the opposition box. And in his own box, it was a Trojan, it was a warrior. He made the Chelsea defense impregnable, such that even though they weren't scoring so many goals at the other end, they were so difficult to break down. So difficult to break down.
Which is more important.
Obviously, it's going to be a very big miss at the end of the season. Obviously, John Terry is leaving Chelsea this summer. So let's move on now from Chelsea.
Take a tweet from the players.
Okay, what do they have to say? I mean, because they've been tweeting since Friday now.
When you win, I mean, okay, this is Ndidi. I mean, the guy you talked about, he joined Leicester in January, and then his players, I mean, his teammates has to vote him the young player, of
phenomenal
the season for them. I was amazed.
Phenomenal. I have to hold my hands up and say that I didn't give him much of a chance because I thought that the shoes he was brought in to fill were too huge, especially because he didn't have the opportunity to train with them in pre-season.
Correct.
So I thought that he was going to struggle. Okay. But what did he do? Took to the team like dog takes to water. His energy levels, grit. He can pass the ball, keeps the game very simple. He can move it around. And then he's got a great engine. He can go box to box.
Correct.
And he showed us in flashes this season how lethal he can be, especially from distance.
Correct.
He's got a cracking goal in the FA Cup, gave us a teaser. And then in the league as well.
Followed
it up. So it tells you he's not a fluke because this dude did exactly the same thing in Belgium. Goal of the season.
Correct.
So indeed he's here to stay. Maybe Leicester finally found the replacement for N'Golo Kante.
But he keeps saying that he's not.
Yeah, but he's just trying to take away pressure for himself. That's totally understandable. But I'm not even trying to be controversial here. But he looks a better technician than N'Golo Kante.
Absolutely. N'Golo Kante can run for days. Maybe he can't.
Maybe he can't. Okay.
Technically, super sound player. Unbelievable for a player who didn't develop in Europe. Keeps it simple, gets into good positions, shuts down spaces. He can read the game excellently, and that's why I think that sometimes you question the intelligence of national team managers. I saw this dude play right back for the Super Eagles.
Yes.
How did that happen?
I mean, someone was missing. They had to plug
someone was missing, so they need to
plug the gap. It's good that it's versatile as well. So I mean, modern day players.
You will give the intelligence to Greg Shakespeare, right?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, the player has got to have it in him.
That's him right there.
Yeah, definitely. But we have to give him all the credit. 20-year-old, just 20, so he still has a lot of years ahead of him. He started 15 Premier League games for the Foxes, scoring twice and providing 1 assist. That's in the Premier League. In the Champions League as well, too, Leicester's remarkable run. He started all 4 matches for them as well. So he's been a mainstay.
Yeah, I mean, once they saw their man, you know what happened with Leicester early on? They brought in Mendy. Mendy got injured, I think, in the first game of the season.
Yes.
And it was a struggle in that position. And that position for the system they play is so vital, such that they went on this horrible, wretched run up until they brought him in January. And it also coincided with the period where the manager was changed. Shakespeare came in. The players were more inspired. They started to play football. And critically, that gaping hole in the middle of the park had been filled by a capable man, Ndidi. The guy is phenomenal, in my own opinion. To have taken to such, a team under pressure, to have taken to the game so naturally, full credit to the guy.
Okay, I'm not trying to put you in trouble now. One more before we leave Ndidi. I mean, he's not exactly a regular for the Super Eagles at the moment. But with everything we've seen with his quality, his attributes, surely it's time for him now to be a mainstay. I mean, look at the options that we have.
Yeah, the options are there. You've got Ogenyo Nazi. You've got John Ogu, who plays in Israel.
Mikel.
You've got Mikel, even though I would like to think of him more as an attacking midfielder as against a defensive midfielder. And then you've got Wilfred Ndidi on current form.
Okay.
On current form, Ndidi will stroll to that jersey. But then he's got to come prove it at national team level. What I would like for General Roy to do is to give everyone a level playing field and go for the man who proved himself worthy of that status of jersey at the end of the day.
Okay. Yeah, just give him room to roll. Now, let's go back to Chelsea's tweets now. We saw some earlier. Aspilicueta, you know, I mean, people don't usually give this player credit.
Very underrated.
But then at the end of the day, when he gets to be on the score sheet, he has to tweet this one. He says, how wonderful to enjoy at the Stamford Bridge as champions, and what a goal to, and what a great night. And for Batshuayi, that's the guy, 2 games, 2 goals. Where has he been?
It's been disappointing. I mean, that's the reality. But he scored the winning goal for them. He scored another goal against Watford.
Yeah,
and they paid a lot of money for him, though.
Yeah, they paid a lot of money. He would have been expected to figure a bit more prominently for them. But then again, if you have to play back up to a striker who hardly gets injured.
Okay. Why he gets sent off as well?
For all his shenanigans, somehow.
His prayers were not enough. I mean, if he had prayed hard, so maybe that guy would have been sent off.
He had to be content with a place on the bench. And some players do not thrive when they don't have a regular run in the team. And I think he's that sort of player. He's got to be playing, enjoying his football to score goals. And he's done that over the last 2 games. And he would go down in history as the guy who scored the goal who won Chelsea the championship.
Right, that's me. You can't erase
the one that I said was actually floating on the bridge.
They call him the Batsman anyway, so